Hey, it's Alicia from mobilitymastery.com, and today I'm going to show you how to release the fascia in your rhomboid region, but not just your rhomboids. We're actually going to grab some of the erector fascia and some of your trap fascia. So it's a general region. I'm not too concerned about the muscles per se. They're just a guideline for where we're aiming. The whole goal is to hunt out tender, sore, adhesed fascia or tissue in this kind of mid-back, upper back region. And this may look familiar to some of you because I did put out a video kind of releasing the rhomboids a long time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. It was one of the very first videos I put out, and it wasn't a very good video, to be honest, but it got me started here on YouTube. So I figured it was time for an upgrade on this one. So reasons you might want to use this technique would be, like, number one, I guess I would just say, I want you to go here after going other places first. If you have any issues like mid-back pain, pain between your shoulder blades or rhomboid pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, stuff like that. So I definitely want you to check out your pec or chest fascia, your anterior neck fascia for sure, your lats and rear deltoids if you have mid-back pain before trying this technique. This is something that I like to use to soothe and comfort this area of the body, which tends to be kind of an epicenter of getting pulled on in so many directions. So, we have that mid-back area, and then if you're a woman, if you have boobs, this weight that you carry is actually going to kind of stress out your lats and pull you forward a bit and put some strain and tension on that mid-back region. If you have forward rotated shoulders, right, that is going to actually put another stretch or strain on that rhomboid region. If you have forward head posture, if you look down at a computer, if you're on your phone, so many things. Very few of us overuse the muscles back there, so they're not tight from overuse. They're actually tight from being overstretched all the time. So that is something I think that's super important to keep in mind, because you don't want to release or loosen tissue that is overstretched most of the time until you've taken care of the really restricted, tight, shortened part of your tissue, right? That is causing the overstretch. So what does that mean? Again, just to recap here, chest. You want to open your chest so that your shoulders can fall back and down, so that it's not pulling on those rhomboids due to forward rotated shoulders, right? You want to take care of the lats, so it's, again, not getting pulled forward this way, right? If I take my shirt, if you want to just try something with me for a second, if you take your shirt that you're wearing right now and just pull forward, tell me where you feel it. It's in your mid-back. It's right there where we're going. So if you're tight here, it's going to irritate that area. So please go to all those areas first. And I have techniques for all of those on the blog, mobilitymastery.com/blog, as well as this YouTube channel. So I have techniques for the chest, the pec minor, the biceps, the rear deltoid, the lats, you name it, the neck, right? Everything interior. So go check those out first. I will say that the one kind of pain issue that I have seen a consistent pattern with regarding the rhomboids, or this region of the mid-back in particular, is neck pain that seems to be getting caused by those adhesions or knots in the mid-back pulling on the upper traps or the levator scapula or some of those smaller cervical muscles. And so it could be that those adhesions are actually pulling on and irritating something upstream. And so that could be a pain pattern in which you might go to this area to get out of pain. But even with that, I would say that's like a symptom causing another symptom. So you have a symptom of rhomboid adhesions or mid-back adhesions that is a symptom of other tightness, right? Of getting pulled on and actually getting overstretched. And then because of the symptom of the adhesion in the rhomboids, you have another symptom of pain in the neck. So I would still go all the way back to those other things too, but then include the rhomboid technique I'm going to show you right now in your pain relief routine. But once you've taken care of all this front stuff, then it's totally time to go take care of that back tissue. And if you find that it's really tender and sore like mine is right now, because I tend to, when I have time for fascia release, take care of the front stuff first and then kind of just, oh well, to the back, you want to go slow. Breathe into it. If it's so tender and, tight that you can't breathe because it's like, oh my God, don't move. Like, don't do the movements I'm going to show you yet. Just breathe into it. Use breathing as a movement. Let your rib cage expand. Be with the sensation as a means of contacting that tissue first, warming it up, kind of bringing blood flow to the area. And also, with that sensation to your brain, you'll actually cue your brain to register that that area of your body actually needs blood flow, maybe needs some repair, ingredients like hyaluronic acid and collagen and blood and all of that. So it's a great way to just contact that area and get some stuff flowing. But once you can, work up to the movement, then definitely do the movement. So you're going to be using a lacrosse ball for this one. Please don't use a spiky ball or anything other than just kind of a lacrosse ball type ball. There are so many other balls out there now. But if you don't have one, a lacrosse ball is really easy to find on Amazon for like $6. So you're going to be on your back. And I'm going to show you how to do this one on my left side, since that's the side facing the camera. So I'm going to kind of roll over and just show you once I kind of get it there. This is about as low as we're going to go. So you can see kind of where I'm aiming there. And then I'm going to come back. And it's really tender on me. So because we're pretty low, I'm at an awkward angle right now. This is definitely not rhomboids. Like, this is a little bit more maybe erector. And so because of that, I just moved the ball a little closer to my spine. So this would be a place you could start. And maybe you just start with breathing. So on your out breath, let your ribs actually sink into that ball. On your in breath, let yourself kind of come up off the ball a little bit. And then another thing you could do here is just a little bit of rocking motion, either with your hips or your shoulders, your torso, or you can start to move your arm. So even just reaching out did something different right now. I might rotate and see what that does, So maybe I notice, ooh, right here, that's like really tender. So I'm going to like do some shoulder rolls and just see what that does. Maybe I stay there with my arm and I move my legs back and forth. Maybe I'm like, oh, wow, there's something really good, I think, even closer to my spine there, right? So, oh, okay. And then you're like, okay, breathe. So I'm walking you through this right now on myself. Like, this sucks. Like, I had to take a breath. So again, these are all prompts or a foundation from which you can begin to explore your body. But I think it's useful to show you on me what I let myself organically do while I do this. So now that I've kind of let myself sink in a bit, I'm gonna go back to movement. Maybe you even take one knee up. I don't know if that'll do anything. You can lift your hips up and kind of do some cross fibering back and forth. Just make sure you don't get that ball in your spine. So when you're heading, like when I'm heading this way, it's the ball's coming closer to my spine. So just stop before it gets to your spine. So those are all going to be kind of the best movements for this low spot where we are more in the erectors than the rhomboids. And then let's say I'm ready to like move up, and you can move up in increments. So I just moved up like 2 or 3 inches. If I wanted to be really thorough here, I might have stayed an inch, you know, or half an inch from the spot I started. But I want to show you getting into the rhomboids, what's going to be a little different here. So I'm still kind of at an angle, right? Because I've got that ball there. I've got arm movement. Breathing, like that's intense. Okay, let me breathe into it, be with it. And then there are a lot of arm movements we can do here. So I'm going to be really slow with this, but right now I'm actually reaching towards the ceiling and then retracting my shoulder. So I'm crunching that ball into kind of like between my shoulder blade and my spine, and then I'm stretching it out here, crunching it down. So that's an option. I could rotate while I do that. I could simply move my arm around and find out like what is here, right? Like what is really going to get it. And I'm still not really on the rhomboids like for real yet. I'm closer to them. So I move up even more. And now, yeah. So now I'm really into that tissue between my shoulder blades. So this, oh yeah. So now I'm getting crunching. I wasn't really getting crunching before. So this is definitely great for here too. But you also got movement like going towards your opposite knee, going towards the same knee, going all the way down to the floor, slowly moving it up, or you could rotate while you do that. And then if you really want to be masochistic, you could lift your hips up while you do this. But I can't talk and do that, so I'm not going to. Now, maybe once you've kind of gotten it up there, you could, again, kind of move that shoulder blade a bit. You are not trying to massage yourself, though. You are trying to crunch and release, compress and shear, hopefully. So I'm going to move it again, even higher, and there. So I just found a knot, an adhesion. You want to, as much as possible, find arm movements that can actually get you a crunch. Whether maybe it's overhead, maybe it's when you do this, which is a really good one. You have to kind of get your arm around your boob if you're a woman. So just keep that in mind. But you don't want to like completely just go, oh, well, I can't do that, so I'm going to go over here. Like, get your arm over there. You can do it. There's a really good crunch. So, ooh, like, that was like crunch, crunch, crunch. So right now what I'm doing is I'm isolating, oh my God. Sorry guys, but this is actually what it looks like in real life. So I'm actually going forward rotated shoulder and then retracting, and rotating, scooping my shoulder blade back. And that is an adhesion that is not my shoulder blade. Okay. So apparently that works really well on me. Now, I want to point out that you can keep going higher. So about the highest I'm going to go here is probably where I am right now. Because if you go too high, it's just going to pop out, right? But I guess I could even go here if I took my other arm and kind of kept it wedged there. Now I can actually get into that upper trap. So, you know, it might require, again, shoulder rotation, going overhead, really reaching. Maybe it's this one. I don't know what'll do it for you, but if you hold it in place, I don't think if I didn't hold it in place, I'm not sure it would stay there, but it kind of is. So you can get as high as you can until the ball kind of pops out. Now, keep in mind, I could roll forward and see if that does something. It definitely pins it a little better. I could roll the other way. That definitely doesn't do anything. So I'm just giving you ideas of how to explore. And then you've got lifting up. So what if I went this way and kind of like tried to lift myself up a bit? Again, this might look really weird, but I'm just trying to maneuver myself around the ball to really get into the entire region. So there you go. I actually wasn't imagining that I would get into, oh, that's nice, the upper trap as much as I just did. And I just have to say, like, I feel like I have to say this on this video. There's so much to explore here. And between your leg movement, your hip movement, your shoulder movement, lifting off the ground, staying on the ground, arm movement, retraction, circles, rotation, that there, and then as much, like, there's a ton of territory back here that if I were to fully explore my anatomy right now, left side and right side from the spot I showed you, where we were starting kind of in the erectors, definitely below the rhomboids, all the way up to that upper trap, I could probably like easily spend 30 minutes here, maybe more, exploring both sides. So 15 minutes per side. And I'm really good at finding things. So if this feels like an area you really want to explore to find, like I didn't know that was going to happen with that crunch. I was like, what? It was like crunch, 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 crunch. So that was really cool. So I didn't know that was going to happen. You may not know what's going to happen, but if you give yourself enough time to actually explore this area, you're going to find the crunch, the clunk, those knots and adhesions that we all have back there that we want gone. In my experience, they don't just disappear. I've never had them really shrink or disappear with massage. I think they have to be almost cracked like a walnut in a nutcracker, to be honest, like compressed and sheared through movement. And it really requires a strong compression to be able to do that. So these adhesions do respond really well, and you have to take care of the front stuff that is causing that area to be overstretched. It's like an epicenter of overstretched tissue. That's why it's so knotted up, it's so sore, it's so angry, it's talking to you, but it's also not the problem. You want to open the front, get your shoulders and your chest open, your shoulders down and back. You want to open up everything in the front first. So I know I've probably said that ad nauseum in this video, but I honestly can't stress it enough because everybody wants to go to this area and they want to ignore all the rest. So by the way, if this area feels really good to you to release, like maybe even it hurts so good, and all this other front stuff is like, God, Alicia, does it have to hurt that bad? I'm going to go do the stuff that feels good. I promise you, if you focus more on the things that suck to release and spend a little less time on the ones that feel nice, eventually everything will feel nice and you won't have to keep coming back to the things that suck a lot because you'll actually have taken care of them for good. So please heed that warning. And this was actually really fun for me. I didn't know what was going to happen. It's definitely an upgrade compared to that last video I put out where I only showed you a few arm movements and like one small region of your back to explore. So I hope you try this out. I think some of you are going to like love this. You'll be like, oh my God, Alicia, why'd you take 4 years to do this? So enjoy and report your experience below. tell us what kind of results you got, and inspire someone else to give it a try as well. And please let me know if you try the front stuff first, if you're problem solving something like mid-back pain or neck pain or shoulder pain, because I'm telling you, it's usually another area of your body that's the cause, and then going to this is going to feel really nice and comforting, and your results are actually going to last. So there you go. Enjoy. I hope you liked this one. If you did, give me a thumbs up, share in the comments below, and I will see you next time.